We got Mexico versus South Korea this upcoming Tuesday. Hashtag tacos versus kimchi. This one, ladies and gentlemen. We're here to give you guys our preview and predictions. We have a score predictions toward the end of the video, but make sure you comment down below what you think this game is going to finish score-wise. Gentlemen, what does Mexico need to do in this game to get a win over South Korea where they couldn't over Japan?
Play the good players, bro. It's that simple.
Well, all right.
Gallardo, Jorge Sanchez, Rico.
No, wait.
Vega.
What I will say about that game is Gallardo and Jorge Sanchez, and this is serious. I mean this because I don't think I've ever given Jorge Sanchez any praise ever in my life.
We saw two different
They
games,
were
bro.
easily the two of the best 3 or 4 players of that last game. They had a really good game, I will say, where the rest of the team was lacking. But with that being said, give me Huescas and give me Mateo Chavez instead. I just want to give them their flowers for that one. I'm ready to move on. I'm ready to move on from them.
No, I saw enough. Gallardo got cooked a little too many times. Yeah, he had some moments, but let's be real, he got cooked a few too many times, in my humble opinion. Yeah, Huescas needs to play. I would like to see Diego Lainez play as well. I think our midfield's lacking, especially I don't know if Edson's going to be ready to go for this game. I highly doubt it based on the fact that he had to come off. I'd like to see him give him a shout because I can't see Charlie Rodriguez play. Unfortunately, I just can't do it to myself.
He always gets subbed on, bro. Every time.
No, I know, but this one he had to, but I was just like, fuck. I just want to see something a little different. And I know my favorite player, Chino isn't there because of injury, but like going into this World Cup, like I can't have Rico, Piojo on the right wing, and Vega. He's fantastic. Congratulations, you're good at Liga MX, but you're not good on the international stage. Like you're below par at best. Like you had a great, I think, first half. He had a great one-on-one opportunity. Took a massive touch. Immediately got sent back to the keeper. Threat was gone. Threat was gone instantly. And Pineda's just I don't even know what he's doing. I'm not gonna lie. He's there too. He's there. He's not as bad as Charlie though. But like he's just there taking up minutes. But once again, all the youngsters that I do want to see are unfortunate at the U20 World Cup. So it's not all doom and gloom here, but I'd like to see some changes.
Is that where they are? Okay.
Yeah, that's
more Montiel. Yeah, they're gone.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
Okay.
Diego, go ahead.
I have to add, I feel like some of the things that we have already identified as lacking, Alvarado being a little hit or miss at times.
Miss all the time. What are you talking about? Hit or miss?
Well, like I get,
he doesn't
hit
anything.
Like, he's not a great. His end product is not great. He's like supposed to be like creative and the creative outlet on the flank, but he doesn't do that well. Vega, I'm iffy on Vega. I see his impact. He runs. He'll drive at you. Not always the best, but I just feel like some of these players. I just can't help but always feel like they're a little lackluster. Some of these offensive players. And I know it's also partly because Mexico don't have that deep of an offensive pool to grab from. We're still bringing on Lozano, which no disrespect to Lozano, he's been doing great for the MLS, but he's not a game changer. He's not a super sub. So I just think some of these attacking outlets is just can be a little lackluster, and we need some new sparks for Mexico, and we need them soon because this has been the same solutions and it's been kind of meh. Sometimes they'll have good games, sometimes they won't, and I feel like that's just not good enough.
I think they should maybe go back to 2-striker up front. That might
I was gonna ask that.
Yeah, just run it back
Yeah. I mean, South Korea, they have been experimenting with a back three, back five, back three. Really looks more like a back three in the games, and I think it's been pretty good. Would you guys have 2-striker against their solid back three in this one?
Yeah, I think it's just to test something out. I don't think you can. Once again, I think the issue is you can't have Raul Jimenez and Santi Jimenez one on the bench. I mean, obviously it's Santi at the moment, but at the same time, even Raul, even how gifted he is, even when he is on the field, he has to have immaculate service or decent service, and unfortunately, our wingers aren't getting him that, or he has to drop in too deep to even get the ball and create opportunities for other players. So I think the two up front with the double Jimenez combo is probably our best solution going forward, and it worked great. Let's be real. In the Nations League run that we had and we won it, it looked fantastic. It didn't. Yeah, don't get me wrong. There were some hiccups here and there, but it was I thought we were better on the attack than we are when we play with the three. So I think it's something to experiment with. South Korea, you could argue is a lesser opponent to Japan in terms of quality all around the pitch, and I think it's one of those things where it's okay to experiment for this one. It was a solid showing against a Japan team that is on red hot form in terms of compared to Mexico, I would say. So I think this is a time to experiment, especially, I just think you can nickel in here against South Korea. You just play right.
I mean, to speak on South Korea real quick and things that they could be doing to win this game, I think taking advantage of that midfield is going to be key, which they did against the USA. They had some great interplay amongst everybody on the pitch, to be honest. And I mean, it was really easy to compare because the USA are so bad. But them compared to the USA, every player knew what to do, right? And South Korea were able to flow very, very well and move the ball forward. I want to see a lot of that here, too, because of how I think lackluster we're going to see this Mexico midfield. Obviously, like you said, Edson, we don't know is going to be there. Eric Lida probably will be starting next to him. Pineda might be starting. Honestly, we might even see a Charlie start. Unfortunately, none of those players besides Marcelo Ruiz kind of give me any confidence at all. So I think South Korea do need to take advantage of that advantage they will have there. But Mexico, their defense was probably the highlight of the entire team in that game against Japan. Is Mexico's defense good enough to stop Son getting a goal or South Korea in general getting 1-2+ goals?
I mean, if someone's through on goal, just slide tackle him, like you're set.
That's crazy.
That works.
That's crazy.
He's not wrong. Let's be real.
I mean,
it works. It clearly worked last game. So
Goal and assist in last one. Andres, is the defense good enough?
Yeah, I think the defense is good. I think the only hiccup that could probably occur is, if you start, Mateo Chavez and Huescas on the left and right, I think there might be some miscommunication problems just because, those two haven't really played for the national team in a long time. And Mateo Chavez, obviously, he's played a little bit more than Huescas. So I think it's just communication type thing, knowing where everyone's supposed to be. But, Montes did get that red card, so I highly doubt he'll be featured in this game. I don't know how that really works because it's international friendlies. I think they'll be able to weather the storm, though. I just like to see some changes in the back line, if I'm personally honest. Brutally honest. I think this is the perfect time. I think you don't bring Huescas and not play him. You know what I mean? Elijah and I talked about this in the preview for the Mexico-Japan game. I did say I wanted to see him, and Elijah did mention that he would probably show up in the second game. So I'm hoping he does, but, we'll see. He is not the most, what's the word?
Adaptive.
Man. Yeah, there you go. Adaptive manager. Yeah. So we'll see.
Yeah, I think this is also a good match for wingbacks in general. I think the USA had found some success here and there with wingbacks. I think Mexico would do the same thing, just a little bit better against South Korea. I think Max Arfsted in the USA game in particular played more of a wingback role, and he did excel a little bit more. So I think maybe that is why Japan against Japan, you didn't want to start the other two fullbacks. So I do hope we see Huescas and Chavez being able to move the ball forward. Okay, so score predictions then. Where would you guys put this game finishing?
Oof. That's tough. I'm gonna go 2-1. I'm gonna go 2-1 Mexico.
Okay.
I can see.
I struggle to see Mexico getting more than one goal in general.
Such a hater, bro. Such a hater. Set piece.
I mean, they just don't. Bro. Yeah, well, we haven't even seen that.
Because Chucky last game he almost got an assist. Lita almost scored. It wasn't for the Japanese keeper. He had a pretty good performance the other day.
I mean, the last time we saw them score more than 2 goals was like at the beginning of the Gold Cup. So I'd see it scares me just a little bit, but I think South Korea are going to do a good enough job at stopping him here. But keep going, Andres. I'm sorry.
No, I think it's going to be a pretty close one. I think it's going to be like a scrappy goal at the end. It's not going to be like, anything crazy. But I also, at the same time, on the flip, I'm not too confident about our midfield. And I'm worried to see how that's going to be, full 90 without Edson. Because let's be real here. I think the game kind of changed a little bit with the dominance of Japan. Had spells of possession far too long. Was able to work through that midfield when Edson came off. Obviously so, because Edson is a massive presence in that midfield. I can see a flip-flop, but I'm going to go 2-1. I'm going to have some faith in the boys.
Joaquin?
I think it's more 1-1. So, Son doing some magic, getting a goal in or an assist. And then, Mexico, scrappy goal. But, I think 1-1's fair.
Okay. There you go.
I was going to say the same thing. I think 1-1.
Not again.
I think both teams can score, but I like both their defenses. So I think they have a good chance of keeping it a tight game. So, no.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think it's going to be a low-scoring affair. That's a 1-0 win for either. That's a 1-1 draw, something like that. Just because you're right. I like both of the defenses, and I think in this moment in time, the defenses, with how their form is probably their better looks right now on both sides. I just haven't seen enough of Mexico's attack to warrant them scoring enough goals to be better than South Korea's attack in general. At the same time, I do think Mexico's defense is going to do enough to stop South Korea. If Mexico loses or draws this game, how do you feel about the national team moving forward after this window to have not gotten a win against both of them or anything. How does it feel as a Mexico national team fan in particular, Andres?
I would be a little disappointed, but I wouldn't be like doom and gloom. You know what I mean? I think a draw, it's kind of a disappointing window overall, but there's, I would say, not our best midfield. You know what I mean? Especially with Mora out. All the youngsters not in the squad that I was hoping would be implemented by now. You know what I mean? I think everyone was hoping they'd be implemented in some way, but obviously they're representing the country in the U20 World Cup. So yeah, I don't think you got to take it with a grain of salt here. It's not going to be anything too crazy, if that makes sense. It's not going to be a massive setback. But I think if we lose like by a lot, I think that's a problem. You know what I mean? But I think if we like narrowly lose, or it's a close game we lose, or it's a draw, I think it wouldn't set us back too far. If I'm being brutally honest, I think it's one of those games where it's like, okay, that happened, but we can move on, sweep it under the rug, and then keep on trucking.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, you're right. Like, you can be disappointed in it. I at least gathered from the comments we've been getting on TikToks and shorts and videos and whatnot, I think Mexico fans are going to be feeling pretty disappointed overall if they can't beat South Korea, because it generally seems like they think that Japan and South Korea are just that much below them. I don't think they are, and I think it kind of would be a little bit of a reality check to an extent for the Mexican national team. You have a lot of these upcoming friendlies against some top opponents. Next window is Colombia, Ecuador. Both teams are rather solid opponents. That are in and around the same kind of level as Mexico. So I think a win would be fantastic. And I know we might hear, not a full strength team missing a lot of key players, which is true to some extent. But I don't think it'd be the worst thing to get the two non-wins, as long as you look at it in a positive light, which is very, very likely. Any lasting comments, gentlemen, before we finish off this video?
I think Mexico should, like you said, they should take some credit for the Japan draw. Like, Japan, I could argue, might be a better team on paper if you really, you've seen what the performances they put up in the past recent years. And Mexico got a solid draw. Obviously, they weren't dominant or anything, but I don't think, if you knew, you wouldn't expect them to be dominant. And so I think that's a solid draw. I think they should be, proud of the hard work there. And if they can come in and snatch a win against South Korea, which is no easy game, people who think that it is an easy game do not know that South Korea are very solid. Hopefully the U.S. loss taught them that a little bit. If they could, I think Mexico have a better chance against South Korea than Japan. Just Japan's a little better. And I think if they snatch a win against South Korea, you look up against those next qualifiers, like you said, if it's Ecuador, Colombia, some really tough games there. Both tough teams. Colombia especially, a very tough team. And I think that confidence going into those games must have to be like, you have to take that, because to beat those top teams, you got to have that confidence. So I like the chances of Mexico, and I was impressed that they even got a solid result against Japan.
I like it. Yeah, I mean, a draw against Japan was more favorable for Mexico than it was for Japan. I think Mexico can definitely be happier for it, but it's a solid result nonetheless, and it's not a loss. In fact, actually, Andres called it in our predictions months ago.
Oh.
In our TikTok months ago, Andres did call it, and I was wrong.
Wow.
I was wrong in that one. Yeah.
Hey, yo, he's back, baby. He's back. Only when it comes to Japan, apparently, but he's back, baby.
The setup exposed.
Setup exposed.
Well, that's going to be it from us, guys. Make sure to leave your score predictions in the comments down below, per usual. We got future videos following these matches and judging how Mexico, USA, Canada, and many more teams, I'm sure, fared in September and whatnot. We got previous predictions, watch-alongs in the future, so make sure you subscribe along for those. My name is Elijah. I was joined by Diego, Joaquin, and Andres. Hopefully see you guys in future videos, and take care.